Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribe.
Oh, that was the bad timing.
Say hello.
Sorry about that.
Say hello.
Oh. Hello, Scribe.
And your Lord of Pennies. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello. Jesus Christ.
He's killing my mojo here.
Now, you see what happened is I had the stream in the background, and I started hearing you talking again, and I thought you were introducing Satsu after I had already yawned and moving on, but it wasn't you, it was the stream, and that's why I paused. I apologize.
No, I was waiting for you. That's all right. And I am your Lord of Pain, the ranting monkey. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful show for you tonight. How do I know that? I don't, but you're going to hang in there with us and find out. Guys, how are you tonight? Scribbles, how are you?
Obviously slightly sleepy, but also I was not feeling the best earlier today, so I came home early from work and just kind of tried to recuperate most of the afternoon. But I'm better now, just a little tired, obviously.
Excuse me too. And Satsu, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Got a little bit of rest before the stream started because I've been probably pushing myself a little too hard as of late, but no biggie. Doing all right.
Cool. Adabisi, thank you so much. Scribe's interrupting. He does that all the time. And Adabisi, before the show started, thank you so much. I know it's Monkey's Night because it's Monday, which starts with an M, and Monkey starts with a W, which is an upside down M, which this makes sense. I'm not sure that makes sense, but I appreciate that you know which night is mine. And thank you not only for showing up, but for the donations. I love you. Johnny Hellcat, thank you so much. Pincalo pointed out my MSS news yesterday was 4 years old. Apologies. These things happen. I mean, we get a lot of weird news, and sometimes weird news circulates a second or third or even 10th time on the internet, you know? I'm okay. Had a decent day. Thanks for asking. Played some video games with my buddy, and then went up and hung out with the baby. Oh, she's so cute. As soon as she sees me, man, she starts like dancing in place with her arms out, wiggling, waiting for me to pick her up. It's so cute. I'm the only one she does that with. And yes, that makes me happy.
You ain't shit.
I know it makes the others feel bad. They're like, why him? Like, shut up. You don't know. We got that bond. Me and my granddaughters, we got this bond. They're like, he's the one that's going to let me have whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are right, child. So, yeah, she gets so excited to see me, and then I get excited to see her, and we play toys together. She's actually started playing toys. She has these little Disney princess little people toys. They're kind of
midgets.
Yeah, kind of. They look like they squished them down and everything. And she takes them and she'll hold one of them and she'll hold the other one in her hand. She'll look at them for a little bit. And then she will just start beating them together violently like they're fighting. It's like Disney Princess Deathmatch. It's awesome.
I'd watch that.
Me too. I wish I'd thought of it. Now I got to like give her credit.
Ooh, you need to have like a Marvel versus Capcom thing, but it's Disney princesses, and like Belle comes out, and her special move is she calls the Beast and like beats up.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You figure out a whole thing with that.
Yeah, that's how I spended my day. Oh, and then guys, she started to get upset, and the only thing that would calm her down was Grandpa singing to her, and I wasn't even really singing to her. I was going boom, 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 and she was watching my lips, and she was like in a little bit of a trance and almost fell asleep.
Oh,
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, she just no, Monkey is a 6 foot pile of shit. BG, that is hurtful, man.
Wow, Jesus, we haven't even started doing anything yet.
Poor BG. He's such jealousy. You know what he's jealous of? Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, you guys, and share our stuff. Because YouTube ain't shit.
I was going to say he's only a 4 foot piece of shit.
Hey, anyway. BG's awesome. He's just not allowed to insult me over here. That's on the game streams, BG, which I don't think I've seen you on for a while. That's where you're allowed to insult me. Anything else before we get into what I'm sure is an amazingly packed news day?
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
Oh, no, I was agreeing with the packed news day thing. I got nothing to add. Otherwise, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I only say that because me and Scribbles already talked and I already know. Scribbles, how was the news day?
Sparse.
Sparse. That's a good word.
Today's news word. I've just made this up now. Today's news word is sparse.
That sounds so much better than empty.
Yeah, well, because it's not empty. I mean, things happened. It's just, little things. I mean, well, it depends on who you are and where you're at. But anyway, there's breaking news. You may recall that we talked a couple shows back about how there was a death of a transgender woman in, I believe it was Texas. And it was suspected that this may be related to a couple of other deaths of transgender women that had occurred earlier in the year. Well, at least as of right now, of course, there's been no trial or anything, but a man has been arrested in the deaths of a Dallas transgender woman and 2 others. A 33-year-old man has been arrested in the slayings of 3 women in Dallas, including a transgender woman whose death brought nationwide attention, police said Wednesday. Oh, I may have misspoken. Maybe just like one of the 3 was transgender, not all 3 were. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Kendrell LeVar Lyles has been charged with 3 counts of murder in the deaths, including last month's slaying of 23-year-old transgender woman Malaysia Booker, Dallas homicide major Max Guerin said. Lyles was being held without bond in the Collin County Jail in McKinney. He has no attorney yet to speak for him. The June 5th arrest came after tips from the public led police to Lyles as the suspect in the deaths of 2 women in the Collin County section of North Dallas. Authorities haven't disclosed the names of those victims, but further investigation led them to the Booker slaying in Dallas County, southeast of downtown Dallas. Detectives found that Lyles' car matched the description of the one witness's reported. Okay, I know this is correct. I just read it wrong. Detectives found that Lyles' car matched the description of the one witnesses reported seeing Booker enter on May 18th, the night she was later found dead. Lyles also is being investigated in connection with the death of 26-year-old transgender woman Chinal Lindsay, whose body was found June 1st in White Rock Lake in Dallas. Even before...
What? Are you fucking with us or is your mic fucked up? Stop it.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Sinatra, quit bugging me.
Son of a bitch.
You set him up for that.
I did.
Yeah.
Fucker.
All right. Well, anyway, guy's arrested. Hopefully, they can solve these murders and he's off the street and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, if it's him, let him burn in hell. There's not much more to say. At least they caught the fucker.
You got a birthday.
Yes, thoughts from the dryer. It is your birthday, and you know what we do around these parts because you're here for us a lot, and we appreciate the support. And this is what we're going to do for you to pay you back. I'm sorry. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Are you grateful yet?
Happy birthday to you.
Think it was worth it?
Happy birthday, dear Thoughts.
Bet you'll think twice next time, huh?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Thoughts from the Dryer. I hope you had a wonderful one. I really do.
Is Thoughts from the Dryer a whirlpool?
Son of a bitch.
Oh!
I don't know, but it sounded like Scribe was singing that song from inside the turn to on dryer. So there's that.
I thought I was singing it like the fast food guy in The Simpsons. Like, would you like some fries with that? Okay.
Close enough. Close enough.
All right. Moving on. I suppose.
I sent you a news story, Scribe.
Grisella says the birds outside my window are like, what the fuck? Really? Grizz, come on. That's hurtful, man.
Okay, well then.
Even the birds are judging us now.
In deference to our guest, I will do his story next.
Oh, and hi, Sinatra. How you doing, man?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
That's good.
This is from SingaporeUncensored.com. Just so you guys all know the high quality standards we're delving into here.
Wait, Singapore Uncensored sounds like some smut site.
It looks a little bit like it. Drunk girl on road, worried driver put her safely in the rubbish bin.
What?
I'm going to put the link in the chat because the picture, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, there's 2 pictures.
A driver was on his way home when he saw a woman lying in the middle of the street. After failing to wake the woman that smelled like vomit, the driver realized the woman reeked of alcohol and was terribly drunk, worried that cars might run over her. She put her where she belonged, I'm reading it as it's written, and where she smelled like, in the rubbish bin, LOL.
I'm screen sharing the picture right now.
There you go. So, here's the problem, though. If this is real, and I have no doubt that it is, the way he positioned her, she could suffocate on her own vomit. So, anyway.
That's right, guys. Remember, when you throw women in the trash can, you put them in feet first.
Yeah, it's just proper manners.
It is. That's safety. Safety first, y'all.
Plus all the blood rushing to her head. Yeah, I mean, anyway, I could go on. That's ridiculous. Speaking of women who are going to be enclosed away from the sight of people, Hope Hicks is to testify behind closed doors before House Judiciary next Wednesday. Hope Hicks, the most attractive White House staffer in the world, apparently, that I've ever seen. I can't think of many who aren't. Former White House aide, staffer.
Oh,
aide.
damn.
Hope Hicks has agreed to testify next Wednesday behind closed doors, the House Judiciary Committee announced Wednesday. The committee plans to release a transcript of the interview afterwards. Okay, so Monkey, you will get a transcript after the fact.
She is really sexy. Wow.
No, she is super duper attractive, which probably makes her evil if she's also in politics.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. The scheduled interview with Hicks, a longtime Trump campaign aide and former White House communications director, is the first case where a member of Trump's inner circle will appear before the committee as part of its investigation into possible obstruction of justice. The first official to be subpoenaed by the panel, former White House counsel Don McGahn, did not appear before the committee last month, prompting a vote in the House this week to go to court to enforce the subpoena. The Judiciary Committee plans to ask questions about Hicks' time at the White House and during the campaign, according to 2 sources. But it remains to be seen whether the White House will assert executive privilege to prevent her from answering about her time at the White House. Hicks is expected to address executive privilege issues on a question-by-question basis, one of the sources said. And it goes on for a bit, but that's the gist. We won't know anymore until after she testifies. If she testifies.
Speaking of how pretty she is, this is the one that AOC was complaining that when they show her, she always looks like she's in a modeling shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at her, guys, take a look at this picture. Does she not look like she could deep throat an 18-inch dong? Look at that neck.
She looks like I want to find out if she can.
I know, right? Look at that. She's like 3/4 neck.
She's a bit of a runway stick figure to me, but she is very attractive.
She is, and she got that the possibility for severe deep throat. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, never mind.
As I told Scribbles earlier, I find it funny that the people insisting on transparency are holding a closed door meeting, and I get it. We'll get the transcripts. They're releasing it to the public, you said?
After she's interviewed, apparently they will release the transcript. Which makes you wonder, like, well, why bother having it behind closed doors then?
Exactly. Why close the doors if you're just going to tell us what was said? I wonder if things will be redacted.
Unless that was something that she put on as a term to testify.
That's certainly possible.
Right.
I wonder if they are going to ask her questions like, did she turn tricks for Trump?
I would love it if that was actually a question some committee member asked her.
So what does Putin taste like? Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I was gonna say, as the one most qualified to test the depth of her throat, I would have volunteered, but I remembered. But I remembered that I'm a married man. So.
Satsu, why would that be?
I have no idea.
Okay.
You assume.
That's racist.
I'm just throwing that out there. What else do we have?
Well, I've got a couple of Trump-ish stories, I suppose, because it's a day that ends in Y.
Of course we do.
Trump says he would accept dirt on political rivals from foreign governments.
Why not? They do.
President Donald Trump says he would listen if a foreign government approached him with damaging information about a political rival and wouldn't necessarily report the contact to the FBI. Quote,
you mean exactly what Hillary did?
What are you talking about?
She took many informations from the Ukrainians.
Many informations.
Information.
Thank you for bringing that wonderful grammar to our stream, Sinatra.
She took so much information. It is just many informations.
Quote, I think you might want to listen. There isn't anything wrong with listening, Trump said in an interview with ABC News that aired on Wednesday. I think I'd want to hear it, Trump went on, downplaying the idea such a move by another country would amount to election interference. Trump and his 2016 campaign have come under intense scrutiny. No, really? Really? Thanks, CNN. And a special counsel investigation. Yeah, really? Thanks, CNN. For their contacts with Russians during the last presidential election. Special counsel Robert Mueller detailed extensive contact between Trump campaign associates and Russians, but did not conclude there was a criminal conspiracy. Asked Wednesday whether he would take opposition research being peddled by another government, Trump said he likely would. Quote, it's not an interference. They have information. I think I'd take it, Trump said. If I thought there was something wrong, I'd go maybe to the FBI if I thought there was something wrong, unquote. Still, Trump said he wouldn't automatically report the foreign government's actions to U.S. law enforcement, something he says he's never considered doing in his lifetime. Quote, I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of things over my life. I don't think in my whole life I've ever called the FBI. In my whole life. You don't call the FBI, he said. You throw somebody out of your office, you do whatever you do. Life doesn't work that way, Trump said. I really hope that at some point you have now called the FBI as president, at least once.
What I'm getting from that is Trump ain't no snitch.
I suppose. That's one way to look at it. Yeah. So anyway,
there's nothing wrong with doing it. I mean, that's why they tried to play up Trump's joke about Russia finding Hillary's emails, because you can't ask them to do that, Hillary DNC. But if they come to you, hey, we found this. There's nothing that's not illegal. Meanwhile, it's a lot more than you might think.
Do you guys think the narrative would be the same if that information that was received from a foreign government about a political opponent was like detrimental to America's well-being, where it was just like, yeah, they're hooked up in some real shady shit that could put your entire country in trouble. And he's like, well, you're a foreign government, so I'm not going to do anything with that information. You think they would be like, you were obligated to do something with that information if it's, or just because now they think it works in his favor, it's not a reasonable thing to do.
Well, that's what it is. It's because it might work in his favor. Oh my God, WikiLeaks worked in his favor, don't you know? The Russian hacking worked in his favor. Yeah, as long as they're not directing it to happen, it's not illegal, and it does happen a lot.
Like the Christopher Steele dossier.
Ding, 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 ding. There's a whole lot of stuff that came from
hack Trump's tax return.
Wasn't he a British agent or something, or former British operative or something? Yeah.
Used to be MI5 or MI6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think it's MP7.
No, it's
I don't get that joke.
AWC. Or AWP, sorry. I haven't been a long time since I played Counter-Strike.
Thank you.
He's a POS.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
the other story I've got, interesting headline. This is an opinion, social commentary piece at CNN by someone named DJ Rosenthal. Previously served in President Barack Obama's White House as Director for Counterterrorism in the National Security Council. The headline is, "The Silver Lining to Trump's Incompetence."
So it's just tangentially being related to the Obama White House guarantee you a spot on CNN?
Yes. And if you can't get one there, MSNBC will take you.
It gives you immediate cachet. Let's put it that way. Commentators have been sounding the alarm almost on a daily basis, warning that President Donald Trump's words harm national security and weaken our standing in the world. They are largely wrong. In many cases, foreign leaders and citizens of the world alike have likely priced in that's in quotation marks. I don't know what that means. Priced in Trump's erratic behavior and sidelined his pronouncements. If so, the result is a neutered presidency and an America that is safer because Trump is often not taken seriously. That's a dangerous thing to do, all things considered.
Yeah.
For decades, presidents have played critical roles in international affairs, from Richard Nixon's détente with China to Ronald Reagan's force of will that toppled communism. I don't think Ronald Reagan's force of will toppled communism. I think communism toppled communism, but Reagan, didn't hurt.
I think Reagan just happened to be there.
Yeah.
Reagan helped. He pushed a lot of things that helped.
Sure. Yeah, it sped it up, but anyway. To Jimmy Carter's brokered peace between Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin. And I'm probably fucking up that name. In these and countless other examples, past presidents advanced American interests and inspired the world by wielding both formal constitutional powers as well as the authority granted by foreign leaders who accepted their statements as U.S. policy. This isn't the case with Trump, whose words foreign leaders can no longer take at face value. You mean he's not predictable? Yeah, okay. Fortunately, President Trump's incompetence in foreign relations, while not a cure-all, can moderate the damage that he might otherwise cause. The more exposure the world has to this president, the less he matters. Interesting way of looking at it. After all, communication is a two-way street. Not if you're dictating. And the audience plays a significant role in determining whether someone's words are accurate, meaningful, and safe to rely on. Take, for example, Trump's rhetoric on North Korea. While the president recently said he is not bothered by new North Korean missile tests, conflicting with the view of intelligence agencies, he previously threatened nuclear attack, in his own way, of course, by claiming that his button is bigger than Kim's. Yeah, and you criticized him for both when he was trying to pursue peace and both when he was saber rattling. So he can do no right.
Wait, time out. Two different kinds of missiles. Okay, let's be clear about that. When Trump said, first of all, when Trump said that, it was because Kim had already threatened us with nukes veiled threat. And Trump was like, my dick's bigger than yours and it works. And that actually got Kim to back down. Am I the only one who remembers that?
I remember that happening.
Okay, sorry.
In any prior administration, words such as these from the American president would place us at the precipice of war. But as norm-busting as they may be, we have become conditioned to view them as just the latest in an unbroken string of overheated comments. His words aren't newsworthy because they will all have real-world consequences. His words aren't newsworthy because they will all have real-world consequences, but because in many instances they won't. Despite being uttered by the leader of the free world, they are heavily discounted by the world just the same.
I mean, I guess that ain't totally false. We've said similar things about Trump, like how we're just conditioned by his bullshit at this point, and nothing really surprises us anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's totally false, but I think he might be, I don't know.
The reverse of this is the tradition. And as far as I know, it's been a tradition that the president's words immediately equate to American policy, rather than what is actually signed into law, what is actually declared officially, etc. And most of the time, Trump's declarations like this are on Twitter. And a lot of people, myself included, have a hard time seeing Twitter as a platform of official declaration. But so, I mean, he's not, like I said, he's not wrong in the effect of it's difficult to take Trump seriously because he says one thing one day, he'll say the opposite the next day. He'll commend one of his administration officials on Monday, and then a month later he'll say he's a loser. Yeah, it's true. You can't take what he says with everything he says you have to take with a grain of salt. I don't know if that's inherently a bad thing diplomatically, unless it's like he goes back on actual agreements versus just pillow talk, for lack of a better phrase.
Real quick, over on Streamlabs, thank you, Tall Person. Happy Ghost in the Machine Day, everybody. Is your mind within your body? Does it exist in your brain, or is it separate from it? These are a few of the questions we ponder today on Ghost in the Machine Day. Thank you so much. And over on the what's that called? Super Chat. Darkshade, thank you. Sings Ollie North. He's a soldier and a hero and a novelist, and now he's on Fox News.
Ollie's been there on Fox News before.
Regarding what this guy's saying, yes, we know Trump can be hyperbolic.
That's being kind. That's being diplomatic.
Well, no, I mean, usually when that happens, though, we're talking domestic policy and such. The few times I can think of him making threats internationally, if he's had to follow through, he does. I mean, there are tariffs on China now, and everybody's like, there's no fucking way he's going to do that. And Trump's like, here, hold my beer. I can't think of the times that they're thinking of where he issued a threat against somebody and didn't follow through. Well,
I remember, this isn't as blatant an example. I'm sure there's others, but I remember very early on in the presidency, if not slightly before he became president, it might have been before the inauguration, he made a statement, and I'm paraphrasing, something to the effect of like, we have to be watchful for our rivals in the world, like Russia, like China, like Japan, etc. Like, wait, Japan's our ally. And, in any normal administration, you might think, is this a declaration of a change in American foreign policy towards Japan? Because that's usually what you would do as someone who's listening to the leader of the free world, etc. But he was just talking out of his ass because he didn't know what the fuck he was saying, and never acted upon it, of course. But like the guy said, traditionally speaking, someone makes a declaration that bold, you have to assume, or you would be ill-advised not to assume, that it has a deeper meaning towards American policy going forward. So, it's hard to gauge these things. Like the advantage on the one end is you can never tell what Trump actually means when he says it, so you don't know what America's going to do at any particular point.
Well, real quick, Darkshade, thank you. The one time Monkey isn't in a singing mood. Sorry. The statement you mentioned, you said keep an eye on them. I mean, that's not. We keep an eye on our friends. I just have trouble with this. Nobody takes him seriously because he never follows through with anything. The only times I can actually think of direct threats, he's done them. So go ahead. I mean, don't take the man serious. Kim did, and I think it was smart for him to do so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think he's the kind of guy that'll be like, all right, I warned you.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
You fired. Anyway, okay. Is that all we had today?
That's all the stories I had, yeah.
All right, guys, that brings us to MSS News time. If there's a story you'd like us to read, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to all the stories, but that's just because the Russians did it. Oh, man, I balked at that one. Sorry.
Wow.
I apologized.
I feel like that's a reasonable reason nowadays.
I don't know if I can continue with that kind of foreign interference. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. If it'll come up. Oh, why not start with dead children? Sure, why not? Mother who drowned her toddler twins after splitting from their father will not face murder trial as he is seen for the first time since their killings. Okay. A mother who killed her 23-month-old twin son and daughter will no longer face a murder trial. Samantha Ford, 38, admitted manslaughter by diminished responsibility. Following the deaths of toddlers Jake and Chloe, and the prosecution accepted her plea today. Her husband, Stephen, made his first public appearance today since the devastating deaths as he arrived at the Old Bailey, this is in Britain, and was flanked by supporters in the court. His wife had been involved in a smash with a lorry on the London-bound carriageway of the A299 Thanet Way in Kent shortly before 3 a.m. on December 27th. When rescuers arrived, she told them to check her home in Westwood near Margate because her babies were there. Police found the dying infants inside, and paramedics tried to save them, but they were pronounced dead at the hospital. Ford of Westwood later admitted she had drowned the children after the breakdown of her marriage. They are thought to have died on Boxing Day. Ford was excused from today's hearing when prosecutor Edward Brown confirmed the Crown Prosecution Service had accepted her plea of manslaughter. Quote, my lord gave the prosecution time on the last occasion to consider whether the pleas entered on the last occasion were acceptable to the Crown, he told the judge. What is her, I'm going to skip down when we get to her, what exactly her claim is. So wait, just by diminished capacity, basically, the reason of insanity, she gets off with it, and that's
it. She gets to go sit and talk about it for however long they throw her in there.
That is
okay.
Insane.
I don't know why they immediately accepted that plea. Like, why? The story doesn't really tell about like the logic behind the decision, or yeah, I'm confused. Okay, well, there you go, I guess. Anyway, moving on. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Oh, good. I need some instruction. Want to be a male ally? Start by cleaning the house.
A male ally?
A male ally.
What?
Like,
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
I know what you mean, but imagine if the dishes stopped getting done.
Oh God.
Oh, okay. So only women do the work at the house. Men never do any housework. Okay. Imagine if no one did the laundry and it piled up, stained and mildewing in hampers and in piles on the floor. Well, that's my apartment. Oh, wait. Imagine if no one fed the baby or changed her. And imagine if no one made dinner. Imagine if no one scheduled grandma's cardiologist appointment and no one reminded her of the appointment after it had been scheduled, and if no one drove her to the appointment on the morning she was supposed to go. That's oddly specific. Imagine if no one vacuumed or washed the windows or picked up the various detritus and that accumulates around the house.
Somebody's trying to kill grandma.
Yeah, this sounds like a personal experience.
Yeah, who wrote this? This is Moira Donegan. Moira Donegan. I don't even know. Imagine that this goes on for a week, 2 weeks, 2 months. It's an episode of Hoarders. Oh, wait. Imagine the domestic fights behind closed bedroom doors. Yeah, like, why aren't you cleaning the house? I work all day. Imagine the wailing infants. Imagine the hunger and the injuries and the infections. What the fuck?
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, God, the Hindenburg's coming down in my living room. Imagine the paid work that happens at the shop or at the office that would be delayed, then phoned in, done badly, and eventually not done at all. Cat dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Imagine that if women stopped doing housework. Or rather, imagine if they treated housework the way that many men do, as optional.
What?
Imagine if men treated going to work as many women do, as optional.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could count if you're working and she's at home, you can counter that whole thing. Like, imagine if you didn't have any lights available in this bitch for you to clean up. Imagine if you didn't have any food in the refrigerator for you to cook.
Imagine if you didn't have
imagine if you didn't have any clothes on your back to wash. Imagine if I just said fuck it and stopped working and your ass was writing this shit on the last minute you have left on your cell phone while we sitting on the sidewalk. Bitch, make me a sandwich.
Imagine if you didn't have the electricity to write this article.
Imagine all the people. All right, anyway. I'm not going to read any of that because it's just more of the same. Yeah, imagine that hell visited your home. And, it's like if you came home and saw all that, the fights behind closed doors, yeah, it'd be more like, I'm taking the children and calling CPS.
Taking the children and going to find out if grandma's okay.
I got a super chat.
Thank you so much, Dark Shade. I remember the housework war has flashbacks. Yeah.
This isn't news so much as I was surprised, not surprised. I guess I don't know what there's a good word for, but disappointed. Apparently, Press Your Luck is back on TV.
Oh yeah, I saw they had commercials for that the other day.
Hosted by Elizabeth Banks, whose career is obviously gone.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's the whammy, like no whammy, no whammy. That's thing.
80s game show.
Yeah, 80s game show they've resurrected because they have absolutely no new ideas.
Monkey, did you watch that in your middle age?
You're an asshole. I watched it when I was young, sir.
Yeah. Let's see. This one comes from Quinn Harrison. I have to subscribe to read this. Apparently, I have to subscribe to that. North Carolina sheriffs now support mandate to help ICE. Violators could be removed from office. Oh. Okay. And I wish I could tell you more, but... Oh, wait. No, do I have to take the... I have to turn off ad. Oh, 1 second. Maybe I can make this work. Okay, now I can make it work. Except now I have a page-long ad I have to scroll through. Thanks a lot. All right. The North Carolina Sheriff's Association has reversed its position on an effort by state lawmakers to require law enforcement agencies to cooperate with immigration authorities. House Bill 370 attempts to address what happens when U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement ask law enforcement agencies to keep custody of a person suspected of being in the country illegally. ICE is empowered to take custody of some immigrants, but courts have ruled that law enforcement agencies have the right to ignore ICE detainers because their requests seeking voluntary compliance. So some sheriffs, including those in Wake and Mecklenburg counties, ignored the detainer requests, a move that has drawn criticism from Republican state lawmakers. The association, which opposed the first draft of HB 370, on Wednesday announced its support for a new version that was discussed in a state Senate committee later that day. I'm confused as to who's supporting what at this point. Let's see. The new version states that state law enforcement officials must allow ICE agents to, quote, interview any person in custody of a county jail, unquote, or law enforcement confinement facility. The association worried that previous language giving ICE wide-ranging access to inmates and records would have gone too far. The new version now instructs law enforcement to, upon receiving an ICE detainer request, take the person in custody before a, quote, state judicial official, unquote. That official would then decide whether to allow continued detainment of the inmate. Okay, so...
I'm confused.
I am also very confused. So they can't just not do what ICE has requested. They have to go to an intermediary. That's what I'm understanding.
I'm glad their courts have enough free time.
Oh boy. Let's see. We talked about that. So Colleen Bernier sends us this one. And I was talking to Monkey before the show. I think this is just an update to something we talked about last week. But I will read it. Sorry, this comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Florida woman squeezed boyfriend's genitals until they bled. A Florida woman was arrested last week on allegations that she squeezed her boyfriend's testicles until they bled. The alleged incident occurred on June 4th in Indian Harbor Beach, about 70 miles southeast of Orlando. Authorities responded to a call from a man who said his live-in girlfriend had assaulted him. The report said the woman, identified as 21-year-old Katie Lee Pitchford, who by her photo I have to assume is on that sort of scale of from hot to crazy. She's on the hot to crazy thing. Had become enraged during an argument. The alleged victim, who was not identified, reportedly told the officers that Pitchford had struck him with her fists and scratched the left side of his face. An arrest affidavit cited by the Miami Herald said the man's face was bloodied and had visible bruising. The man reportedly told officers that Pitchford had grabbed him, quote, by his balls and squeezed them until they bled. She must have done it quick because I would have fought her off at that point.
I don't remember this story.
I swear we mentioned it or at least talked about it at some point in the last several days, somewhere in there. But on the off chance...
I remember Oh, go ahead.
On the off chance I'm just misremembering, I'm reading it anyway. Go ahead.
Well, I remember like seeing it, and my comment was, if somebody would have asked me what type of chick she looks like, I would have gave that exact description. The type of chick who would grab your nuts and squeeze them until they like that's what she looks like, and smile while doing it because she looks crazy as fuck.
All in all, I'll give her a 20 out of 30.
She looks like a good time. I'm just telling you that.
Pitchford was arrested for battery and accused of violating her probation. So she doesn't say what she was on probation for.
She's a serial ball squeezer.
Maybe she's a
she's the juicer.
She's a pro dominatrix.
The juicer.
The juicer.
Oh, that's her Batman villain name.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, well, I will preamble this one with only in Canada. This one comes from Peter Stewart. Wayward exercise ball causes 4-car collision in Halifax.
Oh, dear God.
Police say a wayward exercise ball caused a 4-car collision in Halifax Wednesday morning. The crash happened on Northwest Arm Drive near Washmill Lake Drive around 7:30 a.m. Police say the ball rolled into oncoming traffic and one vehicle stopped to avoid it. The next 2 vehicles came to a stop behind the first vehicle, but they were struck from behind by a 4th vehicle, causing the 4-car pileup. The driver of the 4th vehicle, a 27-year-old man from Harrietsfield, Nova Scotia, was issued a ticket for following too closely. No injuries were reported, and it's just an inflatable blue ball. Yay. Blue balls and ball squeezing. We got all types of stuff here.
What did they charge the ball with?
Not exercising the right of way.
Do we know where the juicer was when this happened?
In Florida.
It was obviously her night off.
She was squeezing much smaller balls at the time.
Let's see. We talked about that yesterday.
I assume they're smaller.
Okay, this one comes from Jim Healis. He predicates this with a tweet that says, "What it really is will surprise you." Jim, do you write like copy for local news stations by any chance? Kraft introduces salad frosting to help trick your kids into eating more vegetables.
What?
Okay, salad frosting. Yes, it's a thing. Instead of simply asking kids to eat salad dressing, who asked their kid to eat salad like the raw? It's like, here's a bottle, kid, go chug. What the fuck?
Look, I'm not opposing that behavior, but if this is to trick them into eating healthier, is eating salad dressing really healthier?
Instead of simply asking kids to eat salad dressing or pretending the age-old condiment bears the hallmarks of a dessert staple, Kraft has introduced salad frosting with the sweet tooth-invoking word right there on the label. Okay, but here's the catch. There's a catch. It's just a slim tube of ranch dressing labeled so parents can trick kids into happily eating their vegetables. Quote, "Kids will eat anything with frosting, right?" the company states in a news release. "It's a match made for dinner time bliss."
One, Kraft Ranch is not ranch dressing. That's horrible to do to kids.
Yeah.
Get them Hidden Valley, you fucking degenerates. And 2, what do you think? Look, kids are dumb. Kids are dumb, but no kid's gonna think that's frosting. It's not sweet. The fuck are you talking about? At least give them like French if that's what you're gonna try for. Fuck.
Well, I've never had a problem getting a kid to eat ranch.
No shit. They love the stuff.
Yeah. Chances are it's going to be some chick, some fat chick who files a lawsuit because she was misled or some shit.
I put this on a cake.
I thought this was frosting.
Put this on a cake. It ruined Christmas. The cats and dogs. Thank you so much. Here in Florida, they would eat that like Go-Gurt. Yeah.
Oh, you know.
I'm sure people already eat ranch like Go-Gurt.
Yeah. What's going to happen is it's going to end up being put onto the display cake and sold to someone's graduation party, and it's made out of styrofoam.
You know what's going to happen? That's going to end up on the discount shelf in about a year when nobody buys that nasty shit.
Yeah, because it's confusing. It's like I just gotta wonder what marketing genius at Kraft was like. Hey guys, let's just relabel it frosting. Kids will love that. Kids love frosting.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right. This one comes from Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Oh, Project Veritas suspended from Twitter for publishing documents exposing Pinterest's alleged political bias.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I always take anything from Project Veritas with a giant grain of salt to begin with, but anyway, that doesn't necessarily mean they should get banned. Investigative reporter and head of Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, has claimed that the conservative investigative journalism group was temporarily suspended from Twitter due to their coverage of internal Pinterest communications. On the morning of June 12th, O'Keefe took to his personal Twitter account to announce that Project Veritas had been temporarily suspended from the platform, claiming that it was due to the group's expose of Pinterest's alleged censorship practices. And then it shows the message he got. Sorry?
I love the use of the word alleged.
Well, like I said, when it comes to Project Veritas, I always wait until there's some kind of corroboration. The temporary suspension came one day after Project Veritas publicly published documents allegedly obtained from an insider at Pinterest, which showed that the social media website was actively attempting to suppress pro-life and Christian materials, such as Bible verses and a link to the pro-life group liveaction.org. Okay. However, according to the email sent to O'Keefe informing him of the suspension, Project Veritas was suspended for violating Twitter's private information policy, which states, quote, "You may not publish or post other people's private information without their express authorization and permission. We also prohibit threatening to expose private information or incentivizing others to do so," unquote.
I wonder if they hold the same standard to, I don't know, Trump's private information.
What about DMs?
Yeah.
We discussed that this morning when we read this article. What about DMs? What about WikiLeaks? What about anything from there?
Is there an expectation of privacy when you do DMs on Twitter?
Yes, it's you. It's me. It's a direct message between you and me.
I don't know.
It's not out in the public.
Well, anything put up digitally these days, I just assume is fair game. Eventually, for somebody, if they hack it, it's going to end up in the public domain.
Saying it that way, if it's on a computer, somebody's going to hack it.
Yeah.
If your computer's attached to the web anywhere, I mean, it is technically under threat.
It is. It's not technically under. It's.
So, I mean, if they're like, well, this internal memo was found and leaked.
Yeah, it's. I mean, especially if they're a journalism site. I mean, if the New York Times posted something that was like an internal blah blah blah, I doubt that their Twitter account be suspended.
Yeah, they just posted shit about Trump's tax returns a couple weeks ago. It was all over Twitter. It was trending, for fuck's sake. There was no suspension there.
Yeah,
and that is literally a private document.
From the White House, right?
What was that? I'm sorry.
You broke up. What?
We hear about stuff all the time that was leaked from the White House, right? Like information that somebody familiar with the matter done release from a private meeting in the White House.
So, Scribbles, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you on whether or not Project Veritas, let's be charitable and says, stretches things a little bit now and then, but their reasoning for this is fucking stupid and does not go by what they've already said. This rule that they have there usually is for like, I'm going to tell people your address, your phone number.
Well, I don't know what was in the documents. The documents might have had personal information like people's social security numbers. I don't know. I didn't see the thing, so I don't know.
Well, they also don't have a problem posting people's personal information like that.
Well, yeah, that's been an issue too.
Yeah. All right. Chicago Mike, thanks for telling us that Christopher Lee died, but that was like a year or two ago now or something.
He died in like 2016.
Yeah. So Chicago Mike, I think, is June 11th, 2015. So Let's see. Of course, I'm not innocent of finding out somebody died and not having known it previously, and then finding out it was like years prior. So, no, nothing. Just saying why I'm not going to read it because it's not news. This one comes from Angry Illinoisian. Speaking of Chicago, Illinois. I was just looking to get someone. Snapchat's gender swap filter inspires a sting operation. Okay.
Oh, I saw this on Philly D today.
Since its launch in May, Snapchat's gender swap filter, which allows users to see what they would look like as a stereotypical man or woman. Stereotypical.
Yeah, it like for women, it's soften. If you're a man, they soften your jawline to make you a woman. For a man.
Okay.
By the way, Lil Butt looks cute as fuck as a little dude with a beard.
It has inspired countless pranks and crude jokes, sparked a debate about gender norms, and doubled the app's install rate. It also led to the arrest of one California cop. After learning that a female friend of his was molested as a child, Ethan, a college student in the San Francisco Bay Area, was feeling frustrated and upset. The 20-year-old, who asked that his last name not be used because he fears retaliation, told NBC Bay Area in an on-camera interview that he channeled his anger into a new form of digital vigilante justice last month, one that he may have pioneered. In May, using Snapchat's gender swap filter, he took a photograph of himself as a woman. Though he theoretically could have stolen a profile picture from a random woman on the internet, creating a unique image with the app meant that photo couldn't easily be traced back to its rightful owner with a simple Google image search. The filter replaced his short haircut with long flowing black hair, gave him full lips and flushed cheeks, and added a thick layer of black eyeliner and mascara to his eyes. Newly feminized, he created an account on Tinder, claiming to be a young woman named Esther. Before long, Esther had a match, a man named Rob. Quote, I believe he messaged me, are you down to have some fun tonight? And I decided to take advantage of it, Ethan told the station. The two chatted for about 12 hours, Ethan said. Their conversation moved from the dating app to Kik, a messaging app popular with teenagers. Because Tinder requires users to be 18, Esther's fake profile said she was 19, according to the San Jose Police Department. Once on Kik, Ethan, posing as Esther, told the man that she was only 16. Quote, we started texting on there and it got a lot more explicit, Ethan said. Screenshots of the conversation that were obtained by NBC Bay Area show that Rob initially told Esther that her age, quote, might be an issue, unquote. But when Esther asked if he was, quote, still down, he responded with the emoji of a man shrugging, quote, you won't even send any pics of you, he complained. Esther told him that she didn't want any pictures of her going around the internet. I wouldn't show anybody, the older man promised. Okay, this is a long way to get to the point of this. San Jose police now say that Rob was actually Robert Davies, a 40-year-old police officer in the nearby city of San Mateo. He allegedly asked Esther to switch to Snapchat, where messages automatically self-delete. There, they, quote, discussed her being 16 years old and chatted about engaging in sexual activity. All along, Ethan told NBC, he was mining Rob for small nuggets of personal information so that it would be easy, quote, for the police to track him down. He also took screenshots of their conversation, switching his phone to airplane mode since otherwise Rob would automatically be notified by Snapchat. Then he shared them with police. After an investigation that lasted several weeks, the San Jose Police Department arrested Davies last Thursday and booked him into the Santa Clara County Jail on $50,000 bond. He has been charged with contacting a minor to commit a felony, which itself is a felony charge. It wasn't clear from court records if he has an attorney. So he did a one-man to catch a predator.
Yep.
Okay.
Real quick, Connor Johnson says, I haven't seen the movie Whiplash. Should I? I've never seen it. I've heard it's good.
It's really good. It shows what a good director and a good script can do with someone who is as an actor as Miles Teller.
And didn't the bald guy win an Oscar for that?
Oh, J.K. Simmons is great.
Yeah.
The whole thing is excellent. Excellent movie.
And thank you, Chicago Mike, who says, sorry, Scribe, I didn't read the article. Normally I do. My error.
I didn't mean to harp. I was just saying sorry. No offense.
Yeah, these things happen.
That's okay. Anyway, I think I'm done with stories now.
Well, I'm going to read one more
Sure.
because I feel like we read some nasty shit. So let's read this one. Officer spots young boy walking to store to get food for sibling. Turns out his family is struggling, so cop steps up. A citizen flagged down Officer James Riley of the Austin, Texas Police Department last week and said a young boy was walking by himself in a parking lot. Riley located the boy, and the department said on its Facebook page, or the department said on its Facebook page, and then began learning about the heartbreaking situation. Turns out the boy walked to the corner store alone to get snacks for a younger sibling. Riley was concerned for the boy's safety, so he gave him a ride home. But after Riley was inside the boy's residence, the officer discovered the family was going through hard financial times. First off, Riley talked to the children about safety and told them never to leave their home without an adult. It appears from the post that the kids in question were alone inside the residence at the time. That's not actually clear. That's what that is a guess the author's making here.
Yeah.
Then Riley went the extra mile. Police said he went to an H-E-B supermarket and purchased a shopping cart full of groceries and snacks the young boys and his siblings could prepare without needing to turn on the stove. Riley also bought items that a parent could cook. The department said Riley showed true heart with his act of kindness. That's a really cool story about police. We don't get enough of those. And not saying they have to spend their money on people, but I mean, we saw this young kid that needed some help and got him some food. That's a nice story.
Mm-hmm.
Colleen Bernier sent a brief update as to why that the juicer was on probation.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently in 2017, she kicked a police officer in the face.
She sounds like a lovely individual.
Yeah, she looks like Hope Hicks, evil twin or something.
I am telling you, that girl will blow your mind in bed. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, probably, amongst other things.
She'll try to kill you afterwards, so don't give her your real name and leave immediately. But she will be a wildcat.
That girl is poison.
Yep. Never trust a big button smile, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, we're going to move on to the YouTubes. Satsu, what you did today?
I did a stream.
You did,
and it was fun.
I was there.
We played. We finished up the Borderlands DLC, which was
it was good.
Pretty awesome.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. We didn't even finish all the side quests, so maybe we'll go back and finish those. But what we did play was fun. Also made preparations to do a cooking stream today. I actually planned on doing it, but after all the stuff that I did this morning and running to the store and then doing that stream, I was just kind of burnt out. So I go ahead to do that tomorrow. The only issue, though, is it's going to be, as I said before, exclusively on DLive, because until I can figure out how to dual stream and get that set up, I have to figure that out. So if you guys want to see that, follow me on DLive, 2 cents plus, and I'll be doing my first cooking stream over there. So, but that's pretty much what I've been up to.
All right. And Sinatra, what you been up to, man?
I've made a video that'll come out tomorrow, and I put some patron-only stuff on my creepypasta, and I have a story coming out right after this stream.
Why'd you say it like a child there?
I don't know.
You're bizarre.
I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did all that stuff. So if you're a patron for the creepypasta, go check that shit out.
All right. And I did nothing other. Well, I did my monkey in the morning as usual. I had a good talk. Lots of good people showed up again. Sinatra was there, and Jack and Polly, and who else? There's somebody else joined us for a little while. Shit, somebody help me out here.
Gutenberg,
that's who it was. Yeah, I hadn't talked to him in a long time, so it was nice to catch up with him. But yeah, good fun stream. And then over there with Satsu on an unscheduled. Guys, we got to tell you this again. We tell them this all the time, but we do unscheduled streams now and then. It happens. Pay attention to Twitter and you'll find them. We don't tell you about them in advance because they're unscheduled and we don't know when we're going to do them. That's kind of what the unscheduled part means. But yeah, come watch them when you can. Just follow us on Twitter. You'll find out. And Scribbles, what'd you do today?
Well, I worked some more finally on the podcast, teaching us about equity in the classroom between two teachers who have PhDs and masters and all this other stuff. The whole podcast is about half an hour long, and there was a lot of anecdotal stuff and sort of promo stuff I could cut out. So I got through, I used about 12 minutes of it total. And I picked out the juiciest parts of trying to figure out, like, okay, they want to tell us about equity in the classroom. And what does equity in the classroom mean? Do they tell us? Do they give any answers to how they solve the problems of reaching equity in the classroom? You'll have to find out by watching my video. I have the audio done. I got it all ready to assemble. I just have to assemble it. I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. And if I get that done, I'll end up posting it Friday morning. So that's the schedule for that. I'm going to categorize it under curriculum of fear. It won't be very visually stimulating because it's just an audio file essentially, but I'll be putting in some pictures of the speakers themselves and some other things to keep it interesting. So that's what I'm working on. And also at some point, apparently SDA is dying to tell me about the publishing industry. So there may be familiar with the matter with SDA in the relative near future.
Cool. Yeah, I have two possibilities for videos I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do, I hate doing the same person twice, but I think I'm going to make a second Boogie one because you know, sorry, I got to get a little, I just pointed out to this jackass the other day as he's whining about how certain jokes aren't funny if some people don't think they're funny, that some of us, me, are named Francis, and that some of his, let's say, antics as just somebody named Francis aren't necessarily in the best light. And frankly, most of them aren't funny, you piece of shit. But you know he's releasing what he released today? A Francis video.
Uh-oh.
You know why? Because they make him a shit ton of money.
Yes.
And if you go back through his channel, man, he makes. He used to do another person. Who was it? Jerry. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was another character he did.
Yeah, it was a redneck.
Yeah, that's right.
But that one went away because Francis was much more popular, and it's hurtful, Boogie. It's hurtful. So no, I think I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to have a heart-to-heart with old Boogie there about how those jokes ain't funny, man. They're just mean. You're just being an asshole on YouTube, man. Not that I think it'll actually have any effect, but it'll be cathartic for me. Anyhow, moving on. It is fucketry time, and that's the time where we tell about stupid shit we saw today, either on the Twitter, on YouTube, just on the internet in general. Satsu, you're up first. What'd you see? Satsu.
I'm here. Not a lot of shit, to be honest. I did comment. I finally commented on the AOC thing because I read it because I didn't see the tweet that you guys were talking about, but I finally saw it and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's weird. And when you actually put it into perspective, like how much she's making and how many expenses she doesn't have to pay for, and I'm just like, damn, weren't you fucking street smart from the Bronx, grew up in the hood, had hardships and all that shit, like, financially savvy bartending, trying to make ends meet, and you can't figure out how to make 5 times more money than you would have ever made than work?
No shit.
That's shocking. The only other thing I've seen is this morning, for whatever reason, hashtag Black men don't cheat.
What?
Yeah.
It was trending this morning, like hardcore trending.
Number one for a while in the US.
Yeah, it was number one for quite a bit. And it was just fun. Like just reading through it.
Real quick, Satsu. Thank you, Chicago Mike, who says lighten up, Francis. Dude, I got over my name a long time ago. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was fun. There was a lot of just kind of hilarity going on in there. And I am pretty much 100% sure that it was a troll. But there were different levels of reactions of people like, is this fucking real? And other people like, damn right, we got to represent our black men, love our queens, and that's why black men don't cheat, or other chicks like this. This is the one that fucking blew my mind the most. Is this chick said, the only people who seem to be mad in this feed are people who have been cheated on. Unfortunately for you guys, all of the men I know in my life are faithful. Hashtag black men don't cheat. And I'm like, let me see if I get this right. Black men don't cheat ever. But the only people who are mad are the ones who got cheated on by black men.
Yes.
But fortunately for you, all the black men you know,
they don't do that.
Have never are all faithful. I'm like, something don't add up there. I feel
real quick
like you got the math wrong on this one.
Thank you. Chicago Mike says, hope you don't mind the Stripes reference. Yeah, I got the reference. I'm going to show him my favorite one, and I only saw it because of you, Satsu. It's the only reason I even paid attention to this hashtag. This one's so mean. It says, black men turn me the fuck off. Y'all literally disgust me. I will never marry. And I'm sure that went on to say like a black man or something like that. And underneath it, somebody wrote, we ain't trying to marry no motherfucker with capital gums and lowercase teeth anyway, ho.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
Dude.
Damn.
I was in here fucking like belly laughing at that shit.
I hurt myself laughing at that one. That was brutal, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Capital gums, lowercase teeth. I never would have thought of that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I've never even heard that before. But the tweet that I put up for hashtag black men don't cheat is, I said, hashtag black men don't cheat. Some of us just fuck other women we aren't currently with. Which is not cheating. And the other one that I put up is, what was it, Charlemagne the God, or the fucking whatever the fuck his name is?
Oh yeah, Charlemagne
from the Breakfast Club. Yeah, he was tweeting about it, and he was like, "It's a movement," and I was like, "I know, I'm celebrating with my side chick right now," and that was that was hilarious. Yeah, that was it was a good time. Like that whole feed was just nothing but humorous tweets. So I actually enjoyed that hashtag movement that didn't piss me off. So that's my fucking treat.
Yeah, go look it up and read through it, guys. It was fucking. None of them were as good as this one. I'm sorry, the capital teeth one or capital gums just made me die. God damn. Sinatra, you got any fucketry that happened today?
A little bit. I finally heard back from YouTube with because all day I was thinking they just straight up stole my ad revenue and super chats that the main channel was made before I was kicked out of the partner program. But they reached out to me, and what they said was they just hold it till I come back in the partner program. So I'm not allowed to have any money, ad revenue, super chats, anything the main channel made until I'm back in the partner program.
They can't do that.
It's in the AdSense clause, so they can.
It's payment. The AdSense clause says that if your account is suspended for any reason, they get to keep your money until you get back in it.
Yep.
Have they given you any indication of what it is you have to do to earn your way back in?
Nope.
So what happens if you don't get back in? You never get it.
The money, I assume.
Oh no. Oh man. Yeah, I'm with Midnight.
That's like
real quick. Midnight says that shit won't hold up. It depends on the state you're in. I know there's if somebody challenged that in California, I know you're in Ohio, but in California, get this man his money.
No, they probably
hold the money.
What were you going to say there, Satsu? I'm sorry.
I was about to say, ain't that like if you get fired from your job and they're like, yeah, well, you got fired, so the money you made for your last week, you don't get. It's like we get to keep that money from your last paycheck. Yeah, if you get rehired, yeah, we'll give you that money back. But
that feels illegal.
Yeah, it might be, but what am I going to do? Sue YouTube?
I would contact my congressman.
Mhm.
Seriously.
Yeah, my congressman is Sherrod Brown. It's not going to help.
Oh, Sherrod. Yeah.
He's a Democrat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. An employment dispute? You want a fucking Democrat.
Yeah, he's just going to look at me and go, you're right wing. Bad.
Don't tell him that part.
I do have other fucketry. I ran into another one of those get a real job losers.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
Because I was talking about how they stole the money from me. And it's like, oh, you should have gotten a real job, fucking loser. Go to Indeed.com or something like that. I was like, this is so unoriginal. This is my job. I should be getting paid for it. I create a product and put it out for free. All you have to do is either watch an ad, and if you choose to, you can donate to me. That's how I make my living. That is just the dumbest argument. You should get a real job. Yes, because real jobs can't just fire you for nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Acosta posted on Twitter that he's doing a book signing, The Enemy of the People, his book,
Right.
at some Barnes & Noble, and there is not a single person standing around him.
Is there a picture of this?
Yeah, I'll screen.
I hope somebody filmed it, the whole thing. That'd be
There
great.
he is.
Oh, poor Jimmy.
Look at that guy in the background facing a book, not paying attention.
He's signing it to himself.
Not a single person is standing around him.
They didn't even give him a table to sit at?
No.
Hey, come on, Jim. You know nobody's coming for this shit.
That's the smile of, fuck, what am I doing?
That's the smile of truth hurts.
Yeah.
It's a joke about his book, guys, because it's all about how truth matters.
I thought that was just hilarious.
Oh, poor Jim. That's what you get, dick.
I'm just going to quote tweet it and say, Dear Diary.
Dear Diary, Mom's the only one who came to get my book. Who is that guy? Asked nothing for you here. That's Jim Acosta, the senior White House correspondent for CNN News. Scribbles, what you got today?
I guess the thing that stood out the most to me was the vegans getting themselves branded.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, so there's this little video going around. Sugar Tits tweeted it out that I saw the first time, where a bunch of vegans, I don't know where they were, I just saw the video, protesting, animal cruelty and meat and all that fun stuff, were pretending to be livestock. And you would think they'd be sort of putting on a sort of stage show to simulate how livestock are treated in order to make their point. But no, they went the extra lifelong mile of having themselves branded with numbers and symbols to simulate, quote unquote, what happens to livestock and how it is torture and painful. And, and somebody brought up, that's like the Nexium cult. Like, yeah, a little bit. But the second one you see getting branded, I saw, was like a guy who basically gets a thigh-wide number just burned into his flesh. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, yeah, that was my WTF moment of the day. I don't think I had anything else.
I wonder how many of those. Oh, God.
Thank you, Diesel Dave, for the 2 donations. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. No comments there. What were you going to say?
I wonder if any of those come back like infected. Like, look,
they can.
We're glad.
Can we get outside and in non-hygienic conditions? Probably.
Yeah, that is just hilarious.
The only other stuff I had. Oh, okay. So Harry Enton. Remember Harry, author of the worst CNN article I've ever read. Sinatra was here for that one.
Mm-hmm.
This was his tweet today. Sorry.
What was that one? I don't remember.
That was the one where he was explaining how, the election will come down to a choice between 2 sides.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So this is Harry Enton's tweet today. The revealing thing about the public horse race numbers aren't what they mean for November 2020 per se. It's that Trump's not outperforming his approval/favoritism ratings against his most likely opponent. Doing so was how he won in 2016. And
What?
I said, ... The only relevance any of this analysis has is what it means to November 2020, Harry. Your attempts to dodge being held to account for your assessments while still making assessments is approaching neurotic levels. 2016 gave you major PTSD, pundit try-hard stress disorder. It's like the revealing thing about this horse race numbers isn't what they mean for November 2020, but let me tell you what it means for 2020. Like, Harry, the fuck?
In order to win, you have to outperform your opponent.
Wow. It's almost like common sense.
The other one was Chloe Dykstra. If you remember, I believe she was the one that accused Chris Hardwick of like boyfriend abuse or whatever.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah, she tweeted out today in all capital letters, "Believe survivors, come at me." And I said, Jussie.
Yeah.
And lastly, what was the other thing? Was that it? No, there was something else. Oh, the New York Times tweeted this out. More than a year after #MeToo became a global call to action, how much has really changed? Jodi Kantor is in a conversation with Fatima Goss Graves of the National Women's Law Center and all these other people. And I said, well, I have been informed from more than one reliable source that what's changed is the increased amount of distance, personally and professionally, men have put between themselves and women. So it's got that going for it. That's my snarky fuckery today.
I forgot about a bit of fucketry. It's a small one, but
Go for it, man.
You guys see that Secret? The what is it? Did they just make deodorant or is it other shit? I don't know.
Secret's women's deodorant.
Yeah, they're doing the pay gap thing now.
Sure, why not?
And they put up, we teamed up with Secret Deodorant to launch an even bigger conversation about the gender wage gap. Visit ladiesgetpaid.com Secret to download your free toolkit as a part of our I'd Rather Get Paid campaign. And my response was, want to know a secret? Secret does not give us two shits about your pay or equal opportunity for women. Also, they just admitted they pay women less for being women and that it needs to change. So that might be an. And I always wonder, like, I think we talked about this before, if these companies are just like, women on average make this amount, simply because they're women. And I'm like, then why are you doing that, buddy? Like, maybe you should stop doing that. Like, yeah, but if we stop paying them less, we wouldn't be able to use the statistic that we made up anymore.
So if that statistic was true and you could do that, they would actually be breaking the law if they didn't hire all women.
Yes.
As a publicly traded company, they are under obligation to do what is best for their stockholders. And keeping your pay down. Go ahead, Sinatra.
If they believed that, maybe they should just pretend to be men. Just say they're men.
Yeah, gender is a social construct after all.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the problem. What is it called? What did you say it was? We'd rather be paid?
Yeah, I'd rather get paid.
I'd rather get paid. If that were true, ladies, this wouldn't be an issue. Because it all comes down to your choices, you silly bitches. Sorry, ladies, this isn't to all of you. This is to the silly bitches. If you rather get paid, you know what? That segues very well into one of mine today, Satsu.
Mm-hmm.
Kirsten Gillibrand tweeted out, here's an idea. If you win 13-0, the most goals for a single game in World Cup history, you should be paid at least equally to the men's team.
So if you go up against a demonstrably weaker and less experienced opponent and trounce them, that makes you a hero. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not just a hero. That means you need to be paid the same as the men's team. And There's reasons the women's team aren't paid the same as the men's team. One, the women's team, and I did a whole video on this once. The women's team, they get paid whether they play or not. So like they're bench riders, they get paid.
Their salary.
You know how much the men who don't actually play in the game make? Nothing. Not a dime. You actually have to play to get paid. The men play a longer schedule. They play more games overall. There's a reason the women aren't paid the same. And I'm not even talking about the fact you're not even having to go against the best athletes in the world. You're only going against the best female athletes, because if you went against the best male athletes, you wouldn't score 13 games if they let you play every day for 16 years. But even if you were just going against the best women out there, you're not playing the same. You're not putting in the same fucking work. So shut up. Stop bitching about it. If you want to give up that cushy job where you get paid when you don't actually play, go for it. Do what the men do. Make it about how good you actually are to get on the fucking field. I hate this shit. I hate this.
Also, they don't get nearly the viewership.
Well, that's true as well. But Spectacular Wanderer responded to that with the headline about the FC Dallas under 15 boys squad beating the U.S. women's national team in a scrimmage.
That's right. Yeah.
And he said, I say these teenagers deserve equal pay to the women's. Well, he's got a point. I mean, if you're going by Gillibrand's logic, if you want to call it logic from that silly bitch. And I don't use the term lightly. I don't say silly bitch about all women, but Kirsten Gillibrand is a fucking moron.
Isn't she the one who was just in some fucking bar saying like gay rights? Woo!
Yes. She for Pride Month, she went to serve drinks at a gay bar.
Hey, Monkey, she just did a little interview thing over on Now This News. If you want to go take a look.
Oh God,
might be material for you. I was taking a look at it, and like her very first, the very first thing they ask her question, it's like, "What's your favorite song?" or something like that. And she says, "Oh, by Izzy, whatever her name is. I forget her. This is Scribe, yeah, whatever." And I started scripting a response video a little bit, and I immediately inserted, "Greetings, fellow kids."
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, she's a soccer mom who's trying to pretend she's cool. Yeah, I did my AOC response thingy there. You know what was trending when I woke up this morning?
Tim
Allen.
Yeah.
Tim Allen was trending.
Why? I never understood this.
Well, it's not. It's partially because Toy Story 4 is coming out, and they've just started the press tour.
Okay.
So that's part of it. But about half of it was because people were claiming Tim Allen is racist because he doesn't know how to play spades.
Wait, I saw that clip. That's what it's all based on?
Yeah.
Because Tom Hanks knew the game and Tim Allen didn't know the game, therefore Tim Allen is racist.
Yes.
Well, I guess. Have you guys ever played spades?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up in a black neighborhood. Of course, I played spades.
I never have, so I guess I'm racist then, by that logic.
For once, we're not the
that
racist.
fascinates me.
Yeah, I don't play card games, so what other cultures am I inherently against because I don't play a card game associated with them in some fashion?
Russian roulette.
It's a card game. Yeah, that's a card against humanity.
No, we played lots of spades when I lived in Norfolk, but I know lots of people who've never heard of spades.
Yeah.
Just let me revel in the fact that for once I'm not the racist person on the show.
You hold on to that.
I think I've heard of it, but I've never played it. Like I've heard of hearts, but I've never played hearts. You know.
Well, there was one guy who said, "It's not because he doesn't know spades. It's because he says the N word all the time. You can go on Twitter and look or YouTube and look it up." And so I did. And you know what I found? Found a video from the Young Turks.
Oh, okay.
Where Cenk Uygur is actually defending Tim Allen. because Tim Allen, this is back in 2013, made the argument that by turning this into the Voldemort of words, that word that shall not be named, you're giving it all the power. So that's not how you take power from words. That sounds so fucking familiar. You don't take power away from it like that. And he also pointed out, he said, I did a movie with Martin Lawrence, and he goes, and there'd be guys when I'd go up on stage, they go, that's my nigga going up on stage. And he goes, and I could say it back to them. He goes, but if I walk 7 feet away and say it, suddenly I'm a racist.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, that doesn't make sense. He goes, we need to just, take the power away from this fucking word. And that was his argument. That's where he said this. It was in a interview where they'd asked him about the whole Paula Deen thing was big at the time. And yeah, Cenk Uygur actually defended him on it. He goes, I can at least, I don't know if I necessarily agree with him, but I can see his argument, and he's making it's something to talk about. I'm like, damn, Cenk got one right. Holy fuck. Thank you, Adebisi. If he could play it wouldn't it be cultural appropriation? Well, no, actually, I learned to play spades from white people, believe it or not.
Oh, back to the racist thing. I didn't have any black friends growing up.
You didn't have any black friends growing up?
I didn't live around any blacks.
Oh, you didn't grow up there in...
I didn't grow up in the hood.
No, I meant... Well, I don't know where you grew up, so there's lots of little towns all over the country, so, man.
I didn't know Satsu back then.
Sure.
Satsu?
Little chuckle he let out.
Satsu, do you know how to play spades?
I mean, I didn't. Not well. I'm not really good at it because I've only played like twice, but my family played it all the time. Thing is, I didn't have any like white friends growing up because I grew up in the hood and not a lot of them stuck around. I knew white people, but I didn't have any white friends until I got to like high school. And even then, it was like I'd have to like leave the school and go to like some other place or area or event where I had white people that I associated with, who I saw every time I was in that particular area. Mm-hmm. But like growing up, it just wasn't a thing because they weren't around. And if they were around, they didn't stick around.
For those of you who don't know what spades is, if you know what euchre is, it's similar, except for spades are always the trump, and there's no crazy stuff with the bowers.
It kind of reminds me of Uno almost.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, except you're trying to take tricks, so based on what trump card is and who has the highest card. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I woke up to. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But a bit. I saw this also when I first woke up. I was going to comment on the fact literally everyone who consumes anything contributes to the economy. That's not necessarily true, sweetheart. But I think the more important point is that the value of human being isn't their economic output, and everyone deserves enough for food, shelter, healthcare, and joy.
Joy?
Ding, ding, ding. That's the one. Like you can, okay, you can argue about all the other ones. Enough for joy.
My joy is a weekly cocaine habit of 1 kilogram.
Well, you deserve that then.
Oh boy.
Just because you consume doesn't make you any sort of contributor to the economy. Say somebody gives you food. They contributed to the economy. They could have bought that and thrown it away and had the same effect on the economy. So stop it. But yeah, that's the part that got me. I mean, okay, typical communist nonsense. Joy, what the fuck? Who decides how much is enough for joy?
I don't know, but once again, these people seem to think that everybody in the world has a universal metric on what it is that brings them joy and how much money it takes to obtain it. I guess.
And finally, right before we get to question time, I just saw this. Apparently, it was actually posted 11 hours ago. Jessica Biel apparently lobbying California lawmakers alongside anti-vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh, goody.
Uh,
She's still with Timberlake?
Oh, I don't know.
Is she married to Justin Timberlake or something?
I have no clue. I
wonder-
barely know who she is.
I just remember from she was on what, Seventh Heaven, Blade 3, and Stealth. That's how I know Jessica Biel. And I think she married Justin Timberlake, or is still married to him. I don't know which.
Well, some rando said, "Thank you, Jessica. The truth is coming out and will support your decision to stand up for medical freedom and a parent's right to choose not to poison their precious children."
Oh, God.
And
Were they being satirical? Please tell me they were being satirical.
no,
Oh.
no, they're
No,
not.
this is legit.
There's people out there who think like that, and this fucking idiot's one of them. And it's gonna be real nice standing over your kid's cough and go, "At least I didn't poison them as they died of this preventable fucking disease." Or, "Oh, look, I blinded my neighbor." How about that?
Yeah.
He's anti-vax. Ship him to Cuba. Let him live down there. That's all I had. Ladies and gentlemen, this makes it your time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the chat right now. We'll do our best to pay attention to them. We kind of get off topic and wander a little bit, especially when we have a guest, but you know that. So go ahead and throw your questions in there. I want to hang with Scribble, says Diesel Dave. I think he wants part of your coke there, man. By the way, YouTube, that was a joke. We are not promoting illegal behavior.
Yeah, I'm not promoting drug use.
Any favorite drinking games that you guys like to play?
Beer pong.
No. I take my drinking very seriously. Thank you. It's not
I
a
like
game.
to play to see how long you can go without drinking game. It's fun.
No, I'm not into the drink games. I just drink if I'm going to drink.
My drinking game is I think I can beat that train.
Yeah.
Frosted Glass says, "Why do I always get funny looks when I say that's my..." Trying to get me in trouble with the N-word there. Is it my thick Southern accent? I don't know. Depends on how you say it, I suppose. When we all die of measles, will we cry? Or when they all die of measles, will we cry? Look, no. You know what? It's not the parents that are going to die of measles. So, yeah, I feel bad for those little kids. I will feel bad for them. It's not their fault their parents are fucking morons. Seriously. Sinatra, what's your favorite color?
I think I saw something on Facebook.
You saw something on Facebook? Oh my God.
About his
no,
color?
there was a no. About the vaccination thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There was a lady. She was talking about her kids and why she's not going to vaccinate them and giving all these reasons. And some chick was like, "You got vaccinated, so why won't you do it for your kids? You've never gotten sick." And she was like, "I was not vaccinated. Thank you very much." And her mom messaged up under, "Yes, you were."
Uh-huh.
Nice.
And I was like, "Oh shit."
I love parents calling people out on social media. It's fucking hilarious.
What's your favorite color, Sinatra?
Blue.
Blue. There you go. Wouldn't shipping the anti-vaxxers be considered biological warfare? No, man. They don't have diseases. They tell us that all the time. Have you heard about Ebola moving to Uganda? Thoughts? I haven't heard about it, and I mean, it kind of roams around all over the place, doesn't it?
Oh, is the rent better there?
I think that was a Ugandan Knuckles joke, but
oh, is it? Nuts ass says those same women were called out by the press for beating their opponents so badly. Quote, "The Americans shouldn't have scored so many points nor celebrated so strongly for winning." Most of the people I haven't seen the press call them out for scoring so many points because the press understands that's part of the game. When it comes to the brackets and the way things happen before you get to the sudden death, in order to move on, if there's any kind of tie, whoever has the most goals scored wins. So most of the press seems to notice that. I did see a lot of them calling them out for their celebrations, which, I mean, when you're up 9-0 and you're still celebrating like it's close, I mean, you could dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, it seemed ungracious, I think, was one way I heard it put. And I was like, yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, it's not a violation or anything, but you could be a little more humble about it, I suppose, when you travel completely.
You don't even have to be humble, but I mean, like the reason I said 9, there's the 9th goal is the one that people seem to have the most problem with. And I understand. The woman, she goes, you guys got to see it. I'm not making this up. She scores and she goes running, yeah. And then she slides and she's laying on her side and starts kicking her foot up in the air. It's really fucking weird. And there's no fucking need for that. And I mean, look, I'm one of those people who thinks, the celebrations in football, they should be slapped for, because it's literally your fucking job. Literally your job. Just do your job. That's why I always liked people like LaDainian Tomlinson. When he scored a touchdown, he would take the ball over and hand it to a ref. And why you do that? Like, that's my job. That's what I do. You don't celebrate when you stock the shelf at Walmart. I mean, yeah, you did your job. But the one that pissed me off is I saw a lot of responses from the team and the coach, and they're all like, I wonder if they'd ask this of the men's team.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, yes, they would.
Yeah, they would have called it toxic masculinity for like making fun of and taunting their rivals who they were completely destroying.
We've seen it in the NFL where just running up the score like that is questioned. Where again, score matters. When you're going to look at playoff brackets and everything, score matters to get into the playoffs. But they ran up the score. How dare they? Yeah, it is, you silly bitches. Stop thinking everything's just a anti-pussy march. I hate stupid people. Anyway, where were we? Sorry, chat jumped as I was rambling there. Where are we at? Lords of the Night, how's Monk's dirty Pinko saber? It's clean.
Thank God.
It's always clean. I shower more than most of you together combined. I promise you. Harbos, are any of you know a good hack and slash game like Devil May Cry with little to no platforming or puzzles? No. Satsu?
For what system? Like Heavenly Sword's a good one. I mean, it's old, but it's fucking excellent.
I mean, you also have the ones like, Diablo and Grim Dawn. Those are hack and slash.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the same Devil May Cry kind of hack and slash, though. So
yeah, you want like super duper action movie hack and slash? I don't play those games myself, so I wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, Bayonetta. Those are good ones.
Oh yeah, okay.
Cryptic, thank you over on the Streamlabs, who says women's soccer, meh. Soccer in general, who gives a shit? Most of the world, I don't. I think it's kind of but it's the big thing right now because the Americans are the defending world champs when it comes to the women's, to the whammons. Where's that at? Was there any MSS news story that you remember fondly? Oh dear God, I don't know.
I don't know about fondly. One that I remember is one where I was fooled because it was back before we were really up on some of the fake news sites. And I mean, like, the Weekly World News type sites. Yeah. And it was, 2 men arrested in cannibal Holocaust in Florida home where they were discovered having eaten like 17 people. I was like, oh my God, why is this your news? And then I literally was like, oh, this is completely made up. This is like Bat Boy found in Ozarks kind of story. Like, okay, never mind. I remember that one. I mean, but otherwise, I don't know.
Fuck, man. We read so many stories. I couldn't tell you which ones were MSS and which weren't.
Maybe Pebbles.
Nope, that was not MSS News.
Was that not MSS News? Okay.
No, I'm fairly certain that one was not. I remember when we read that because it was your night off.
Yeah, that's right.
And me and SDA were reading that. I lost my mind. Like, they flushed a hamster down the toilet. Are you serious? I wanted to call PETA on that bitch. And I hate PETA because they're assholes. But she flushed a fucking hamster down the toilet. Her emotional support hamster. Monkey, ever heard of Alice: The Return to Madness?
Oh, by American McGee?
Is that the game?
Yeah, the Alice games are actually pretty good. At least the first one was really good. Second one was all right. Ish. It's not as well known, I don't think. Because those games have always been a little underappreciated, I think.
I mean, it's in my memory somewhere, but it's not something I paid a lot of attention to. Monkey and Satsu, how many times will Sanut die break a bone next time he plays with you guys? Well, hopefully you'll be there Friday, right?
Yep.
Hopefully none.
Probably one of each show.
Hopefully none, at least once.
But as didn't you break your leg just standing the other day?
No, I fell down one block.
One block, that's what it was, yeah. Which is basically standing in that game.
Dude, I have no idea.
He's gotten the monkey curse for the legs. The bike craziness is still mine. My bike has started to drive off without me again. Has Satsu and Sinatra seen Stripes?
No.
Nope.
It's great for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like an hour.
Yeah, then it falls apart.
After basic training, stop watching. Data is, I'm looking forward to some 7 Days to Die tonight on the open server. Will we see you in there anytime soon? Me? No. I'm going to be sleeping tonight. I am exhausted. I'm fucking exhausted. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night and like 15 minutes of a nap on the couch earlier. So,
yeah, tired.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget, if you want to join that, the information is in Satsu's Discord server, pinned up in the upper right when you get in there on the general tab. Monkey, did you and Dax break up? No. Dax, as far as I know, has been working. He was on the show a week ago, and before that, it had been like 10 days or something. He shows up when he wants to. The people on my show don't get paid, so I don't expect them to show up. I send them the link, but they're not expected to be there.
Oh, they'd rather get paid, Monkey.
I'm sure they would. I would rather pay them, but I'm as broke as Sinatra, man. Ever seen the movie Cannibal Holocaust? No.
Yes, it's an infamous movie because it was like one of the first sort of found footage type movies back in the 70s, I think. And there's a big controversy because there's this one moment in the movie where an effect looked so real that the people involved in the filmmaking were taken to trial on the basis that they thought they actually killed somebody in the making of it. And it is a very well done effect for the time and given the budget of the movie. But no, nobody was killed. It was all made up.
Where are we at? Nut says I may have misread it. What did you may have misread, sweetie? I missed what you misread.
I was going to ask.
Oh, okay.
Too.
You're going to ask about Dax. Yeah. I don't know. I have a group, just like we have a group set up for me, Scribe, and Satsu that we just share the link each day, so we don't have to tag or send it to each at one. And I have one set up like that with Polly, Jack, and Dax. They all get it every day, and if they show up, they show up. It's great. But if not, like I said, they're not paid. So, there's a CNN article about them over celebrating the 13-0. There's actually like 4 or 5 CNN articles about that. And it's all over the internet. Actually, there's several of them. If cereal is soup, does that make oatmeal with fruit a hearty stew? I don't. If it makes you feel happy, cereal is soup.
And you know why? I'll tell you why I think it isn't. I think we had this conversation before.
Bring it on.
You can take all the ingredients out of soup, and it's different things.
No, it's not.
Your chicken, your carrots, whatever. It's all different things.
Yeah.
You take the liquid out of cereal, what do you have? Cereal.
If you go down your soup aisle, you will see dried soup with all the ingredients in there. And if you pour it out onto the table, that's still your dried soup. It's not, you don't go, oh, look, there's a noodle, there's a pea. It's the soup.
Are you talking about ramen cups?
No, well, that would count as well. But no, there's actually dried soup. It's sold in bags. You should check it out sometime.
Yep, dried soup.
Thank you. Didn't the Panthers get loads of shit for excessive celebration? Lots of teams have. There was a time in the NFL, I mean, they started actually penalizing people for it.
Yeah, for doing like dances and all other stuff and all that gloating or whatever it was.
Money to be joyful. Now this cunt is pissing me off. I work 12 to 16 hours a day, 20-day stretches. My joy isn't what I do on YouTube. Fuck AOC. Her constituency needs to improve and motivate themselves. It wasn't AOC who said that.
Yeah.
It was just some. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
Or was it Gillibrand or was that somebody else? Sorry.
No, that was somebody else. It was just some rando on Twitter.
Oh. Okay.
There's a question asking about me and Dax again. There's the Bayonetta stuff. Sinatra and Bear, the only reasons I listen to GPP. Oh, he's crapping on Drunkle, man. He was in the chat a little while ago. Lords of Night, have you ever had a cake that was flavored like a fully topped hamburger?
What?
No.
I've seen a novelty cake that looked like a hamburger, but was actually like chocolate and that kind of stuff, but no, never flavored like a hamburger.
I got a thing over here.
Go ahead.
Breaking news happening now. Officer involved shooting in Memphis. Large crowds gathering. Rocks are being thrown at officers. Stores are being looted. Massive.
Whoa. What the fuck's going on in Memphis?
Wait, hold on.
I'll send you
What's the last one got to do with everything?
What, stores being looted?
Yeah, that last one seems to not fit. Where it's just like police shot somebody.
Here.
Well, it like usually, I don't know. It seems like looting happens, like natural disasters or some crazy shit like that or whatever. Or like if a riot is going on under certain situations, but it just seems odd where it's like that police shot that dude and he shouldn't have. Let's throw rocks at him. Oh, look.
I mean, Michael Brown, all these things, if a shooting happens, that people would find an excuse to riot.
It said the scene is in the 2000 block, whatever the fuck that means, of Durham involving the Fraser neighborhood.
The 2000 block would be the number of the house numbers in that block are 2000, 2100, 2200. Those houses would be in there. It was unclear what led up to the shooting or how many people were shot. Breaking 911 can confirm the officers involved were from the Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force, part of the U.S. Marshal Service.
Oh, geez.
Following the shooting, large crowds swarmed the area, and there were reports of rocks being thrown at officers, as well as stores being looted. Wow.
Well, that's the point that I was making, because everybody is saying, like, did you forget about Fergus? Like, those riots and stuff happened afterwards. Like, people rallied and they got together to riot about that shit. But I don't think it ever happened where like somebody got shot right then and there, and then the police started getting attacked, and they're like, "Oh God, this is exhausting. Let's rob this store and get some shit from there while we do." Like all at the same time. You know what I mean? It just seems like a weird progression.
I can't remember the last major one, but I remember covering it, and it didn't take long for them to start just looting.
Yeah.
It's such a weird. I don't understand people at all, man.
Yeah, it's what's the old phrase? A person is smart, a bunch of people are stupid, or something like that.
Yeah,
I guess.
That's actually a line from Men in Black.
Yeah, that's what Tommy Lee Jones says,
and it's an excellent line and a very good one. A person is smart. People are. They're dumb, irrational, and easily frightened.
Right, something like that.
Yeah. From the looks of this, I mean, they've been the shooting didn't happen just tonight. Happened earlier today or something, I'm guessing, because they show the police force when there's still quite a bit of light outside, but now it's dark, and that's when shit always goes haywire.
I think it's some self-defense guy's law. Nothing good happens between 12-5 or something.
Let's see. Oh, there's Data again. Remember, guys, you can ask your question a second time, but if I'm not answering it, I am way back up where the last questions were asked. So I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't got there yet. Lords of the Night and Sinatra, go-to song to put you in the best mood. Oh, God.
Shine on You, Crazy Diamond. The full thing.
Play that funky music, white boy. It is hard to be in a bad mood listening to that.
God, there's so many. It depends on my mood. Best mood? I mean, what's the situation? The best mood for me being angry is one song. Best mood for me being happy is another one. I don't know.
To put you in the best mood.
Okay, the one that got in my head today that sort of cheered me up, it's a song called American Life in the Summertime by Francis Dunnery. It's got a really catchy riff to it. It's not a complicated song. It's kind of a poppy song, but that's the one that comes to mind, I guess. Right now. Can change.
Satsu, is yours the meow, 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 meow song?
Nah.
No, but it is some weep shit.
What's the name of it?
The song?
It's a song called "Believing Yourself,"
There you
and
go.
it's from this one show that I watch called Baby Steps. I think it's called.
You are the weebiest black person I've ever met.
It's a good song, man.
You know what? I take that back. You're probably just one of the weebiest people I've ever met.
Oh no, it ain't. Trust me. It gets significantly worse than me. I am low tier.
No, if I'm a weeb for liking Dragon Ball, you're a weeb for doing all that.
Oh,
no,
he's a
you would be
weeb.
shunned in the weeb community because you only like Dragon Ball.
That's all I want to like.
I know, and exactly. And they'd be like, "Oh, so you're a real weeb? What else do you watch?" And you'll be like, "Nope, just Dragon Ball." They'd be like, "No, you're not a weeb."
Mata says, Lords of the Night, what does Monk have against PITA? P-I-T-A. That's not it. It's
Pita bread, no.
Pita bread is
one.
delicious.
That shit's disgusting. It's dry and nasty. It's shit they convince white people to eat. You hate stupid people, yet you stream with Scribe. That's not nice, Peach.
Wow.
Ouch.
Damn. Anybody got a fork I can slit my wrist with?
Right.
Jeez.
I got an assault whisk.
Oh, there we go.
An assault whisk.
It's called the Sausage Circle, that DM group, isn't it? Admit it, Ranting Monkey. No, it's called the Lords of the Night group. Actually, it doesn't have a name. It just has these two guys' name on it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just on-
your cousin's in there too. I
yeah,
think.
my cousin's in there for when he has to tell me about the stream coming up. Yeah, I don't speak that language. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Is dried soup like dehydrated water? No.
It's soup that needs to have water added to it. That's all it is. It's like imagine soup. Now take out all the moisture, and then put the moisture back in. You've got soup again. That's all it is. I mean, it's like, it's kind of like cereal after a fashion.
Mr. Dam says oatmeal, cream of wheat.
No.
Oh, that must be Russian, I guess they're speaking.
Cyrillic, yeah.
Where in Memphis on the 2000 block? Oh, is that why you mentioned where, Sinatra? Somebody had asked. Lords of Night and Sinatra ever gave a lap dance to a significant other? Not one she wanted. She always slaps me and tells me to put my dick away.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't think it's the same for men and women. I really don't.
It depends on the chick, man.
I don't think it's the same.
My ex was into that shit. Her weird ass.
Did you see what happened in Baltimore? Oh, so that's back to where we were talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about there.
You said although.
Yeah, I made the mistake of asking my ex one time what type of sexual venture she'd like to get into outside of like normal shit. And she looked me right in the face and was like, I want to fuck you with a strap on. And I was like, bitch.
Well, Ask a question, get an answer.
I know. I was just like, oh shit. Like I thought we were gonna like, no, she looked me right in the face and said without hesitation, I want to fuck you with a strap on. I'm just like, bitch, shut up.
She had answer just ready.
That's
just like
that's too ready.
Crazy.
That's
yeah.
you
She
gotta
was thinking
sleep
about this. She's waiting for you to go to sleep.
yeah, you got to sleep with jeans on in that kind of relationship.
Plank strapped to your head.
All fucking Christ.
That's where you get into this relationship isn't compatible. Lord tonight, you mean those novelty cakes shaped like hamburgers don't taste like hamburger? Is that not false advertisement? I've never tried one. I'm assuming they don't taste like hamburger. I want to see a grocery store organized to Ranting Monkey's brain.
Just shit on the floor and old, dried out.
Look, it would make more goddamn sense than most of them do. I'm just telling you that.
No, there's a pattern to how stores are set up.
No, there's not always. Do you know Walmart? It wasn't until recently. Walmart used to have, their taco section and their Mexican section in different places. And we kept having people come in and look for stuff and like, oh, you got to go over to the Mexican food. And they'll be standing there in front of the taco stuff going, ain't this Mexican food? So no, there's not always a rhyme and reason. Don't believe that nonsense. That's corporate bullshit they've fed you. No, we already did lap dance. Dancing on the ceiling.
Oh, what a feeling when dancing on the ceiling.
If you think the fans of the Blues, or you think the fans of the Blues are burning down St. Louis right now, I don't know. Did the Blues win or lose? I don't follow hockey. Sorry, guys. I'm scrolling. It's jumped every time because I keep taking time. God damn it.
James Colley asks me, how much in order for you to watch a suggested anime? Make the suggestion. I'll look up a clip for it. Then we'll talk money because some of these look unwatchable.
There you go. Oh, wow. Lords of the Night, except Scribe. That'll just take too long deliberating.
Oh my
and
God.
Sinatra. Ultimate song to put you in the shithouse mood.
Meaning like fighting?
I don't know.
Yeah, define shithouse. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
You've stumped us all, not just me.
But you still had the longest answer. I think that catches up on the question. So, guys, if there's anything else, throw it in right now. You only got a couple of minutes left.
All right. I got an answer, by the way. Something called Assassination Classroom.
Satsu.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's a good one. I just finished that one recently.
Okay, this looks pretty unwatchable.
Chicago says the Blues won. Okay. Are you doing Mad Libs tonight? That's on Tuesdays and Fridays, my friend. That's on Scribe's channel.
Well, there's nothing that says you guys can't. You just don't. That's all.
James Colley, this is going to be a pretty penny. Holy shit. It's like, oh, no, it's weep speak.
Here go Sinatra. Scream really loud for 6 episodes straight while doing absolutely nothing. Quality.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Even when asked,
that's some watchable shit.
What time is Monkey in the Morning? Fuck if I know.
James comes dubbed. I don't like watching dubbed.
It will be in the morning time, guys, because after this, my ass is going to sleep.
Oh, sweet.
Favorite ice cream flavor? Mostly just vanilla. I like other kinds, but vanilla is my go-to. Apparently,
some of the protesters in Memphis were heard shouting, and this is a quote, don't take this the wrong way, YouTube. Heard on live streams, quote, "We'll kill Donald Trump's ass if he come down here too," end quote, quote.
Wow.
So they're really going off down there.
Yeah. Again, that's hearsay. I'm sure. Get that on tape, y'all. If you guys can hear it, you can tape it.
Apparently, it was on a live stream.
Like I said, I want to see. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but
Oh wow, I'm looking at some of the tweets. This looks pretty bad.
damn. And on that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Chat, I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us as you always do. Don't forget to join us tomorrow on Satsu 2 Senses channel for our Thursday edition, right? Tomorrow's Thursday?
Yes.
Thursday edition at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to go check out Sinatra's channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't, why not?
Ooh, that reminds me.
Throw your links. No game streams, no other streams scheduled right now. So yeah, that's it, guys. Sinatra, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Satsu, Scribe, a pleasure as always.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, your lives make me sad. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.